Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Lucha Brothers, the best tag team in the world. And you listen, Juicy Pro Wrestling Podcast. You know what? Cero. The Animuso.
Oh, man. That's great.
Before we start anything, before you do any intros, I have one question. What does he say? Cero or
Miedo.
Fear.
Yeah, no fear.
no
Yeah.
fear?
Zero fear.
Yeah.
Cero miedo?
Yeah. Zero fear.
Compliments to my pronunciation. All right, let's get the show started.
Welcome, everybody, to Juice Pro Wrestling Podcast, episode 40.
The Aftermath. With me today is Sreten the Savage. What's up, Sreten?
I'm very excited.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Usually I do super low energy when you ask me how I'm doing, but I'm doing pretty good right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna talk
yeah,
as fast
you
as I
know.
can the whole time.
Hit the pipe. Bobcat Deveney returning. How you doing, Bobcat?
I think good.
All right.
All right.
It's all right. He moves in mysterious. Butchman Lee is back in the studio. How you doing, Butchman Lee?
Good to be back.
Yeah, that's right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
I love that show. Welcome back, Cotter.
Very special episode today, recapping Warrior Wrestling 3. But before we get to that, some breaking news as it happened today, as this is being recorded January 8th of 2019. All Elite Wrestling had their first, what would you call this, a press conference?
Exactly.
If you will. At the, what's the stadium, Jacksonville, that the Jaguars play at?
I'm not
Anybody
sure
know?
the exact name, but it was
Well,
in Jacksonville.
it's at the stadium that the Jags play at.
What happened?
Well, I'll tell you if you settle down. Today we had a huge moment in professional wrestling history, and mind you that this is going on the same night that SmackDown Live is airing in the same city, so we'll get to that too in a second. Basically, we'll give you a quick rundown. Cody and the Bucks, everybody come out and say, hey, we're All Elite Wrestling. This is who we got. This is who we signed. This is what we're doing. So a list of names that is our official signings for All Elite Wrestling. You have Britt Baker, who we seen at Warrior Wrestling 3. So very, very nice. Cody Rhodes, obviously, with Brandy Rhodes. The Young Bucks. Hangman Page. Chris Jericho, who survived, surprised everybody at the end and coming out and saying he's all in for All Elite Wrestling. So super fucking awesome on that. Pac, for those of you jaded WWE fans that don't know who
Fucking
Pac
Neville.
is, yeah, it's Neville from
Sean
WWE.
Waltman?
Yeah, right. He is the he's a champion
The
in
one night
Dragon
in
Gate.
China, man.
Yeah, it's not X-Pac?
No, it's one night in Bangkok. The world's your oyster. Bad boy Joey Janela, who I'm a super huge fan, and Penelope Ford, that kind of goes hand in hand. So super huge get for them. MJF, another huge indie star. As we mentioned, Britt Baker, and then we got SCU.
Okay.
Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky, who will be appearing at Warrior Wrestling 4. And you can get your tickets right now at warriorwrestling.net. So some news coming out of this. They basically come out and said one cool thing is the next event is going to be the Double or Nothing, which is going to be their next pay-per-view. And that's going to be at the MGM Grand on May 25th, I believe. So you guys can Google and YouTube that and see where you can score tickets. They're doing
At the Being Elite at YouTube.
yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Thanks for your help, Ed. I appreciate it.
And All Elite Wrestling, just do a search on that. For
Yeah,
official.
they're on Twitter, Instagram. Anybody listening, I'm sure, is fans of this and they're following what's going
Oh,
on.
probably Young Buck Link.
Just Google it.
Shut the fuck up!
Okay. Maybe find Cody Rhodes' high school photo.
Yeah, something like that. So anyway, before I was derailed so horribly bad.
Yeah.
So we have the signings, we have the announcements. We also had Billy Gunn is announced as the first backstage producer.
Okay.
First and only, as far as I know.
Cute Kip.
Yeah, Cute Kip. Or
Sweet.
the one Billy Gunn, or
I'm an ass man.
I love the. Never mind. So you got that going on. You also have it's SmackDown going on tonight, and like I said, we were reading online that a bunch of people wearing All Elite merch were being turned away.
Yeah. Security was telling them that WWE doesn't want those shirts in the building, and it blew up online, and another video was posted where security said that they were now allowing it. They don't know what happened, but they are now allowing those people in.
My bad. WWE, my bad. I guess I fucked up.
That was Vince's temper getting the best of him.
It was his menstrual moment.
Yeah. Menstrual. Like Priscilla Kelly.
Yeah, Priscilla Kelly. That's another thing I want to kind of get into here is there's this huge it's went viral now, and you said this actually happened December?
In December, yeah.
So there's this spot, Priscilla Kelly. Who was she wrestling? You know?
Tuna.
Tuna.
Yes,
Oh, she gave Tuna the tuna.
Yes.
Tuna.
Yeah, I think I remember reading it. It said tuna, yes.
She gave her the star kiss. That's what I would call it.
It was at First Blood.
With a little extra juice.
So here's the deal. I'm going to tell you guys what happened real quick and then kind of give you my opinion on it. Because there's a lot of butthurt fans over this and talent. So anyways, she has this match, and I guess this was the finisher. She ends up reaching into her tights and pulling out what appears to be a bloody tampon and proceeds to put it and give the tuna, puts it in the tuna's mouth. And it's
Captain Ahab.
Yeah, dude, it's super disgusting. I was disgusted watching it, but at the same time, I was like, that is so innovative and cool. Because in pro wrestling, it's about what can you do to get yourself over. And Joey Ryan's the perfect example. You know, the whole U-pornplex, the dick flip. People were saying, oh, you're the one ruining the business. When how many years has Ric Flair been grabbing cock, you know?
Well, and let's not forget about the time that, Mae Young gave birth to Mark Henry's love hand.
Yeah.
I mean, so...
Yeah. And
you're going to talk about
No logic.
shit-killing
No
wrestling?
Yeah.
That was the stupidest angle of all time. That or the, what was it, Katie Vick?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Very, very stupid.
So my whole take on it is there's a lot of people pissed off, including good old JR. He was like, by God, it's a tsunami, a blood orgy, by God.
The Red Sea.
She's part of the Red Sea. So here's my thing. People are really buying into this and believing, and I don't know this to be fact. I haven't talked to Priscilla. I don't know.
I thought on Twitter she responds like, come on, guys.
Well, the whole thing
Right.
is okay, for one, it took place in a bar, so you had to be 21 years old
Yeah.
to
Right.
enter.
I mean, it was
Right.
the audience,
so it's not like,
too.
oh my God, they did this in front of children.
That
Right.
would be hilarious.
And,
Fucked up.
He loves it.
It wasn't legitimate. I mean, it was a
Right.
work.
Yeah.
And she worked it exactly how she should have.
But if it was real, then you could just maybe go in Europe and just call it art.
I would still like it. And I want to go around the table real quick. I give it a thumbs up. Sreten?
Don't give a shit.
Doesn't give a shit.
It's gross.
It
It's
is
super
gross.
gross. You can't be more creative. You got to bring tampons
Sorry.
and blood into it.
I think
pretty
I think it
Next
was
thing is
highly
shit.
creative.
No, I think it's super.
Hey,
I think
controversy
it's too
creates
easy.
cash in pro
It's
wrestling.
too
man.
easy. Well, if I was a wrestler and I wanted the same controversy, I would do.
You'd have to
some
pull
kind
that
of,
fist out
some
your
kind
ass.
of orangutan gimmick, and I would just start shitting in my hand and throw it at people.
and then you'd
And they'd
have,
be like,
be the
then you'd
little
have
monkey.
genius. You'd
I'll
have
be
Peter
that
coming
little
after
monkey.
you.
He
I
just
wouldn't
said
let
he wants to
anybody
eat
beat
some
me
shit.
up, so people would have no problem with me.
Yeah.
He's thinking about Peter Griffin.
Yeah. All right, Ed, what's your take on it real quick?
Gross, interesting. A thumbs up.
All right. Butchman Lee?
It's no worse than Joey Ryan's putting a lollipop in people's mouths that he
From
pulls out of his
pubes,
tights.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. But and there's also a moose moment we'll get to in our review here of Warrior Wrestling 3. But yeah, long story short, I think it was a crazy spot. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm not going to rag on them whether you like it or not.
It's also
You got it. You got it. You did.
Another thing, it kind of is a little bit like a trauma thing, like a toxic Avenger. So
Right.
it's just kind of like, okay.
Like toxic shock syndrome. She didn't want to get it, so she pulled it out.
Yes. Yes. Nice one.
Damn, I'm
well,
smooth.
to kind of
She was just saving her body, yo. She was just saving her body. She could have just tainted it. She's like, oh, God, it's going over.
Hey, settle down, Davis.
to merge our first two topics, as far as with the All Elite and the Priscilla Kelly,
Yes.
and how I said, it's no different than what Joey Ryan did.
Yes.
Equality, which is another thing All Elite's doing.
Yeah, another thing they're offering up is the men and women are going to get paid on an equal scale. It's also really cool that the proceeds from Double or Nothing, a good chunk of it, are going to go to gun violence. Yeah. Some gun violence charities. I would
From the
assume.
Parkland shooting.
Yeah. Okay. So super cool, So yeah, kind of moving on from that. Well, real quick, I just want to reiterate how important tonight was. And they had roughly about 64,000 people watching via different social media platforms and streaming. There's a few hundred people there, which I know isn't super impressive,
That's pretty
but
significant.
It's just a start,
With not that much attention on it, and in a couple of days,
right?
That's still a good amount.
I really think that and everybody in the wrestling world is paying attention to this because you have another Vince McMahon, another guy in the Khan family that has money that can offer up. There's speculation that they're going after Goldberg, which could be another huge grab for them if Kenny Omega ends up signing with them from New Japan, which everybody's thinking. AJ Styles has the potential.
A little side note, Young Bucks, because of the whole, All In, they because of the whole what they do at All In, they know that kind of like symbolisms for independent wrestling, what you can do, and they do aware that if they did go to WWE, it would kind of tarnish like the whole hope of wrestling.
Right. Well, and there's not creative control, and that's
yes.
And speaking of independent wrestling, they will be working with OWE. It's based out of Shanghai in China.
Oh, really?
I have never heard of this promotion, but apparently a lot of people have came and went through there, and so that's. I know New Japan said they are not going to be working with AEW at the moment. They are still going to continue their working relationship with Ring of Honor, which is super cool.
They're kind of butthurt.
I'm sure, but they're losing all their major stars. I mean, and New Japan, don't get me wrong, they're still loaded. They still have plenty of potential. It's just it sucks for them because they have a new president that's really trying hard to get into the U.S. market. And, not a lot of people are like, there's not a good TV platform. Yes, they are on Access TV, but it's not like people watch, Monday Night Raw on USA and look forward to that. I mean, I'm sure people do, but it's just not a huge platform for them. And there's not like people, super thousands and thousands of people demanding it,
Plus, it's also, not like one of your basic channels that are going to come with your cable package.
That's true.
It's
I would be watching it if I had it.
And I'll be honest with you, and you can easily negate all that and go straight to New Japan World, which is their streaming service, which I had for a little while.
Okay.
It's not bad. You can get it on like the Fire Stick, and I don't know if it's available for Xbox or not, but it was kind of hard to navigate, even in English. It's not as easy like WWE Network. That's the one thing I do like about them is everything's pretty much right there in front of you and easy to navigate. New Japan's just like
it's a little bit wonky.
It's a little difficult.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if the listeners were having the same problems, but I had messaged you last night because I wanted to watch some old Mean Gene footage on the network. And none of the Mean Gene videos would work. Everything else would work, but when
maybe they were just everybody was
the clips would come up, and when I'd hit like watch now, it would just say like cannot play.
Oh, I wonder if it's possible.
Sounds like a server issue.
Yeah. So if it's too many people watching it.
It sounds like that, and it also sounds like a segue. Monday night.
Once again, second segue from Butch. Kudos.
Bang,
Kudos to Butchkos. Monday Night Raw happened last night. Very controversial moment as of late for WWE because it pertains to Hulk Hogan coming back.
We're coming for you.
Something we've talked about through many episodes here, the speculation of him coming back, and when he finally did in Crown Jewel, they were kind of testing the waters. He had a very positive reaction, and I think a lot of people on the internet, a lot of the trolls and smart marks,
What?
they were kind of, you're either for it or against it. It's really kind of a polarizing subject because of what Hulk said back in the day. And I get it. For the people that were offended by it, we've talked about it before. There's no need to go into it. I do get it. But getting into it, though, I mean, was it a business decision to kind of test the waters to get Hogan back in the U.S. market on TV? I think yes. But it was also my point that I was trying to prove to people, several people on social media, was there's no one more synonymous with Mean Gene Okerlund than Hulk Hogan.
Now imagine how all this would have played out 3 months ago, or however long ago it was that WWE brought Hogan back. Had they not reintroduced him, how would they have handled the whole Mean Gene thing?
I mean,
not being able to look up videos with Hogan in them because they didn't have him on the network.
Right,
you know?
right.
So the whole tribute to Mean Gene would have been skewed.
See, my whole thing was it was a screw up on Hulk's part. He said some horrible shit. We're all human. We all make mistakes. If he can learn from them, whatever. I always knew that at some point. I mean, that's like banishing Babe Ruth from the Major League Baseball history.
Or Pete Rose from. Oh wait.
Yeah, well, you know, Pete Rose was good.
They won't let him in the Hall of Fame.
That's why Kane fucking tombstoned him like on 3 separate occasions.
No, the Hall of Fame he needs is the WWE.
Yeah. So Hulk was a guy that you knew at some point was going to come back, and at this point he had been gone for damn near 4 years, which is hard to believe it's been that long already.
Wasn't long enough.
This piece of shit. Anyways, so he comes out on Raw. I loved how it was very well done by WWE. I don't give them kudos very much on this show because they really don't deserve a lot of it, but I will give them props on this. It was handled very nice. They started off the show, opened up Raw with the 10-bell salute to Mean Gene.
As did Warrior Wrestling.
Yeah, super awesome. And then all of a sudden, once that ends, you hear the Real American music come on. And, dude, I'm sorry, there was a Hogan pop, dude. It was a huge pop for him. He comes out. I'm sitting at home getting all fucking pumped up, you know, like this is awesome. And you could tell, I mean, that was one of Hogan's real-life buddies, you know, like good friends. I mean, he was hurting. And he's wearing the Mean Genomania shirts.
Yeah. Like I said, we should have made those.
Yeah, I knew we were going to lose that one, especially in that. But here's another cool thing. If you go to 1 Hour Tees, ProWrestlingTees.com, and that's where the shirt came from. If you buy that from them, all the proceeds go to Gene's family.
That's awesome.
Oh.
So everybody out there listening, do it up, man, because they deserve it.
And Pro Wrestling Tees, they're
the shit.
Yeah.
We can't wait till they get the JPW wing up and going.
The owner of Pro Wrestling Tees flew with Cody Rhodes and all them down to the All Elite press conference.
Well, I think,
today.
I know the Young Bucks were running late, so he might have caught that with them. But
right.
Anyways, it was a super fitting tribute. Hulk came out and cut a great promo and was mentioning, he's like, you know, Gene, I know you're up there making the tag match with the Macho Man Randy Savage, yeah, and listed a bunch of names like Mr. Perfect,
Dusty Rhodes.
I don't think he mentioned Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, okay.
No, just it didn't happen, Ed. Don't speak unless you're spoken to. No, I'm just playing with you. I love you. But so he mentioned Mr. Perfect and. It said Andre would be the special guest referee. It was just, you guys can go on WWE's YouTube page and watch it. It was a very fitting tribute. You could tell Hulk was super choked up about it. And the end of it was just killer because he's like, and Mean Gene, what you gonna do? You know, when Genomania runs wild on you. And then he just drops the mic. And like, that was it. It was very precise, to the point, heartfelt, and it felt real because in the world of professional wrestling, it was real.
He was out there for Mean Gene, not
putting himself
for
over.
any kind of self-gratification.
Yeah, which he's caught a lot of flack for. So kudos to WWE on that. Now, into the main subject, the aftermath. We were all at this event. Warrior Wrestling 3 took place on January 5th, 2019. Approximately, what was that, 3 days ago?
Do you want some reverb when you say all this?
Sure. Yeah. Here we go. Check it out.
Yeah.
Just let me know.
Not 3.
Warrior Wrestling 3.
Not yet. Go.
Warrior Wrestling 3 took place on January 5th, 2019, and the JP Dub had the privilege of being there, and we're about to tell you about it right now.
So do it, damn it.
That was good. Fucking do it, damn it. We're channeling Corn or something from back in the day. So anyways, I just want to tell you guys, I had a great time at Black Label Pro this year, as far as being a local indie show that was stacked with star power and just great wrestling. Black Label was a great time, and shout out to Mikey. It was good seeing him at Warrior Wrestling as well, and a lot of guys that wrestled like Ethan Page, Gringo Loco was there. You had the Indiana State champion Kobe Durst that was there. A lot of guys. Space Monkey.
International star Sam Adonis,
Yeah.
a.k.a. the little brother of Corey Graves.
Yeah, there was a lot of people there. So we're going to kind of run down the card with you guys real quick. And one thing, for me, it was super cool. Sreten, just real quick, what was your whole experience? Because this was like, I mean, have you been to any wrestling at all?
It was my first wrestling event.
Ever?
Of any kind, yeah. It was
Really?
the first one, yeah.
So one hell of a event to fucking start off with. And now, mind you guys, me,
Yeah.
Butchman Lee, and Sreten, we all had the VIP passes, which is super cool, because you go to most, and no knock to any of the wrestlers, because these guys got to get out there and hustle and make their money. You know, I mean, it's just like being in the band when you're going on tour, you're selling your merch, your T-shirts. Any way you can make money to get to the next town and survive is what you fucking do. So fully support these guys when you go to these events. But what was cool with Warrior is for what, an extra
$25
plus tax. Where's that reverb on the plus tax? Where's Tom Lounge's winning plus tax? You get to meet everybody. It was pretty much everybody on the card.
Not just you get to meet everybody, but all photos and autographs were free as well.
They were free, and now they did have some shirts and stuff for sale that you could purchase and have them sign or whatever you want to do. But to have these major stars, who a lot of them were Impact Wrestling superstars, who the very next night were on pay-per-view for Impact Homecoming, which was also a great show.
And not only that, but you could bring your own merch and have them sign it. Like that one guy brought the Gift of the Gods belt.
Oh, that was super awesome.
Yeah, he had the Lucha Brothers sign it.
The Lucha Brothers comic he got me for Christmas.
Yeah.
I got that signed by both Phoenix and Pentagon. And I want to throw a quick shout out to the Lucha Bros right now for our awesome opening. I can't even do it.
Juicy Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Yeah. They are.
Cero miedo.
Yeah. Puto. They totally envelop everything that Juice Pro Wrestling is all about. So shout out to those guys for being so cool and gracious to do that for us. Muchos gracias. Anyways, the VIP experience for Warrior Wrestling 3 is top notch. And you can't even go to like WWE events like you might get lucky, JR.
Oh, God, wouldn't that be like 50, probably 60 or higher or 100?
Well, or the thing is, not only that, say you have not even paying for it, but the fact that you have to wait till after the matches and then corner these guys, which sucks.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and I, as much as a mark as I am for most of them, I still, out of respect, it's like, hey, man, I don't want to act like a fucking dick around them, because they get it all the time. But in the same aspect, I am a super huge fan, so it's kind of hard not to be like, hey, what's up? You know, like, mark out for these dudes.
Right.
So I'm kind of 50-50 on it, but I'm a Libra, so it's going to happen.
I like that, though. They also had the intermission, and then the wrestlers came out for that as well.
Yeah, they came back out, but once that happens, of course, that's when, you know, the VIP is over. That's when you have to start paying for autographs, and we had to do that with some. But, hey, we were happy to oblige if it helps them, you know, and it helps us get introspect onto what these guys are doing and get some information out of them, then I was all for it. But anyways, let's get to the first match of the night. Bobcat, what do you got?
The first one was Rich Swann versus Andrew Everett.
Rich Swann, I might add, won the X Division Championship at Impact Wrestling Homecoming in an awesome Ultimate X match. You guys will have to go check that out. And by the way, for anybody that didn't attend this event, it was streamed live on High Spots Wrestling Network. So check out High Spots. They have a lot of cool shit on there as far as wrestling pay-per-views, wrestlers that have like their own kind of shoot shows and comedy shows and shit. Sreten, you got a subscription to that, right?
I recently got a subscription, and it has been wonderful.
Yeah.
But Warrior Wrestling 1, 2, and now 3 are all streamed on there, so you can get an idea for 4, just the lineups and the quality of the wrestling and we had just everything, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and going back to what was it, episode 38, or was it 38 or 39?
I'm not sure now. I think 38.
Yeah, it was 38 because 39 was our Mean Gene episode. So go back and check that out. www.jpdub.com, www.greendoornetwork.com, and all podcasting platforms. You like that cheap plug? It's a gentleman's game. But anyway, Warrior Wrestling on the streaming service and all that shit is super fucking cool, because it was one thing to be there, and it's another, just from what I've seen, some of the angles and shots, and to hear like Steve doing, you know, the commentary and everything. Right. And he kind of has almost like a Joey Styles vibe. And we had Steve on episode 38. It was super cool to have him in here and kind of break the card down for us. And now that we're here in the aftermath and breaking it down from our personal experience in this super huge fucking show. And we were fluffing you guys up, telling you how big this was going to be. And it was an exhausting night. Yeah. It was just, it was
definitely
too
got your
much.
money's worth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was like 20 pounds of steak, you know?
There was like, I think the third to the last match, a bunch of stuff happened. And I remember I was just like, I sat back on because we got our bleacher seats. Every seat, every view, everywhere was good. And I don't want to say what happened because we're going to get into it, but it was like boom, boom, boom. And then everybody started clapping because they pretty much, all the wrestlers were on, like, they were all like on the ground in the middle of the ring. Mm-hmm. And I just sat back and I was like, holy shit. I was like, I got tired for a second. I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm not done. We have 3 more matches. And I was like, oh my God, this is like, if you want entertainment,
right?
They overdid it and then gave you more. Mm-hmm. Like they were not done bringing it.
You look over and Sreten smoking a cigarette.
Like, like he just.
I was like, guys,
no, but it's super cool because for a guy like him that he watched wrestling back in the day, was a big WCW NWO guy, and finally like this is his first taste of pro wrestling live, and. The whole night I was looking at you and like just trying to see your reactions.
I was yelling a lot,
and you were yelling
a lot. I was yelling the whole time,
and you were getting into it. But here's the thing, and that's what I'm trying to say is it's super interactive.
Yes,
like the whole fan experience and with the wrestlers and everything. I mean, you can't even really get that at like a fucking concert, you know. Yeah. And these guys are major players in the professional wrestling world, and you were there, and they'll react to everything you say, everything you don't say. Like it really is the best bang for your buck in entertainment.
Well, like, and not only that, but you know, like when the crowd would like cheer like one more time. I remember in particular there was a spot in the Cage Bandito match.
Oh, the Vanilla Gorilla flip.
Yeah. And you know the crowd was chanting for one more, so they did it one more. But holy shit, he threw Bandito up in the air.
Yeah, before we get to that, though, so the first match was current X Division champion Rich Swann and Andrew Everett, both Impact Wrestling guys. Super fast-paced match, really great spots. I mean, spots, monkey! It's hard to describe. Like, I instantly was, like, sprung.
It was a great. It wasn't like too technical. It had a little bit technical. It had the high flying, but then it also had a little bit brawling. It had a little bit of the different styles of wrestling, and it also had a good time on it. It didn't stretch out its welcome time, and it almost got to a point for me. It's like I could have got more of that.
Yeah,
it was good. I didn't know how, because I never been to a place like this, and when you don't have. You go to an event like this, there's no storylines that you had to watch from, like, you know, you're watching the different promotions and their storylines. So part of what I wondered was, like, how do you do it? How do you set these bad guys, good guys storylines without any build-up, without any knowledge other than knowing the wrestlers? And that first match, I was like, oh, that's how they're going to do it. That guy's a dick. Yeah. That guy's cool. They're going to maybe switch a couple times. They're also going to do some cool moves, and I'm going to cheer and scream. I came very close to the beginnings of losing my voice because I was like yelling so much. I was yelling so much, and then I got excited because there were, like, we had a group of there was a group of us, and by the end everyone was into it. I was wondered because a couple of we brought some kids, and like we were there. I mean, it's. You get your money's worth because we were there for 6 hours.
Yeah. And
the event was with intermission was like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like you get your money's worth. But you know, some kids are like,
Yeah. But, and it was
but that first match was great. It was great start match.
And right off the bat too, you know, the Demon Boy was there. AZ Dub.
Oh yeah, the Demon Boy.
He had a great time. And you know, we've been to many pro wrestling matches together, and this for sure was like his most favorite experience, and especially because the VIP experience. To meet guys like Phoenix and Pentagon, for a kid like him, it was just an Ultimo Dragon too. Like, holy shit, you know. So moving on to the next match.
Jordan Grace versus Kylie Ray. And I think the Kylie Ray was from Chicago area too.
Yeah, she is.
And wasn't she the one with the Pokemon music?
Yeah,
that was so awesome.
That threw me off.
Yeah,
Smiley
The crowd
Kylie.
loved it though.
The crowd loved it.
Oh, dude, she's a hometown hero.
Yeah, well, she unfortunately had a short line. Like I didn't know a lot of the people, so we just kind of when we got
Yeah,
there
I
for
didn't
the
even
VIP
notice
thing,
that she was there. Until
She was right next to
I think
Brian
she's
Cage.
in a corner. She was by the other dudes that
Two
were
heels in the
podcasting.
face?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Shout out to them. But I took my girlfriend's nephew, Gabriel. Shout out to Gabriel. And as soon
Peter?
as a Pokemon, yeah, Peter Gabriel's my girlfriend's nephew.
Yeah.
But as soon as the Pokemon music started, like he started getting crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
Dude, and that's what wrestling's all about. You know, I mean, you can throw in the silliness, and as long as it's something anybody can attach to and relate to and like believe in, you're going to have a fucking great time. It really is an experience like no other. You know, when I'm talking about like going to wrestling, it's a sporting event, it's a concert, it's a TV drama, everything all mixed into one.
And an action cinema too.
And
Yeah.
Jordan Grace is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
Jordan
she was
Nice
flipping around, and
thickness.
Yeah.
I like her nickname. I like the way she they were all performing.
Mama
It was-
Pump.
it was-
I would
it was
love to
awesome,
have
yeah.
her bench me because I think she can.
I don't think she would.
That's for another
Let's
show.
see if we can arrange that.
But it was great. It was super fun.
And Jordan Grace, she had an awesome match the next night on Impact as well.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing it.
She teamed with Kira Hogan to go against Sue Young and Allie.
Yeah, that power slam / power bomb on the two girls at once was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, she's badass. I was fortunate enough to see her versus another competitor at Warrior Wrestling 3 and Impact Homecoming, Ethan Page. It was a crazy match. Long story short, Jordan got put through a table and lost the world title. But what does that tell you? She was the world champion for this company.
Yeah.
You know, and for quite some time. So that's pretty badass. And kudos to her. She's definitely going places. And kudos to Impact for recognizing her and picking her up.
Yeah, I mean, she had a good pace because I thought it was going to be like brawling, but it wasn't that much brawling. It had technical in that, and I was just like, I thought it was just going to be a lot of power moves, but I'm like, okay, I dig this.
I like the fact that they give somebody like her a chance where she's not your cookie cutter, you know, TNA wrestler.
Right.
You know, like she's not quite like a Nia Jax, but
Right.
you know, she's very talented, and they
Yeah,
recognize that.
she's thick mama pump, man. She fucking rocks. So you're out there listening, Jordan. We love you. We love you a long time. Next.
Which is Moose versus Ethan Page.
All right, and we got to meet Moose.
yes.
Quinn.
Yeah, you was almost
Ojanaka.
you was almost late, fucking when it was coming over the intermission because I was like texting you like, man, it's fucking Stone. You still talking to Moose?
Yeah, well, you know, you got to. We talked to him about the Bears game. Unfortunately, the Bears took a shit on my soul. Well, Cody Parkey did, so we're not going to talk about that. But Moose was a super cool guy, man. We got to talk to him about football, obviously, and then where it looks like he may be interested in heading after his run with Impact. When his contract, how long is he?
Oh, he actually said?
Yeah, he told us he was
Wow.
contracted.
yeah,
that's
I want to say
pretty open.
2020. I think
Something
he's
like that.
contracted through.
But
Then
it was
XFL.
right, and you know, going back to when we did the football episodes, it was cool to be able to sit and tell him that, like, hey, man, you know, we did this kind of pro wrestlers, NFL players going into pro wrestling, and like you're like my top pick for the most well adapted of all those guys that come from NFL into pro wrestling.
Yeah,
Like
'cause he was drafted by the Falcons and played for the Patriots,
Yeah.
the Rams.
right, and he was good.
Yeah.
And he's kicked ass ever since I saw him. It's probably man. He's been in the business now for I'd say at least close to 5 years. I would like to
he
think.
got drafted in 2006 by the Falcons.
Okay.
I'm not sure how many years he was in the NFL.
Right. Well, just as far as professional wrestling, because I know back in, man, maybe 2011 or 12, I remember seeing him with Ring of Honor.
Really?
And then developing there, and then from there going into Impact. And, you know, the sky's the limit with this guy. And if I wouldn't be surprised at WWE picking him up in the future or All Elite Wrestling.
I was surprised at the amount of merch he actually had at his table.
Yeah, he's got some
choose
cool
from.
merch, too. And it was cool. I love being able to tell him because I love his outfits that he comes out with on Impact.
He said that it's
Yeah, pretty
really
loud.
expensive.
I have to.
Yeah.
He does have some good showmanship.
Yeah, but he was saying it got a little expensive, you know. I'm like,
like $500
Oh, yeah.
for a vest or whatever.
Yeah.
So that means you just got to go create a Moose. So what you do is just go to some wacky and offbeat thrift stores. Then don't go to
Yeah.
fashion. Just go to some
Yeah,
wacky.
but
off-
you got to think. Look at the size of him.
Yeah.
You're not
Taylor
finding
and
stuff.
a Taylor and a Taylor.
As long as it's swift.
And hard.
Next.
That would be the Dragon Lee, Sam Adonis.
Oh, wait, hold up. Because the match was Moose versus Ethan Page, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Real quick, because I got off topic because I got distracted by talking about Moose. But that was a good match. Two big dudes just going at it. It's kind of weird to see Ethan Page in somewhat of a... I mean, he's always kind of borderline like heel face. It's in nowadays.
He was definitely face.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
definitely facing this match, and he kept, he got everybody to chant douche, douche, which was super cool. But the one spot, the stink fist, as I like to call it, where they've been going for like what 5-8 minutes at that point, so they're all sweaty. And then Moose whips the glove off and sticks his hand. He's getting it all up in the grundle, and just goes to fucking planning Ethan Page. Ends up getting turned around. He puts it in his own face, and then I shook that hand.
Yeah, and then you licked that hand.
So I snapped it.
He's like, I gotta get some nachos with extra cheese so this doesn't look weird.
Yeah,
He's
here-
like licking his fingers.
you
He's
go,
not even
son.
eating the nachos.
Got some hairs.
That was a great match.
It was really
It was
good.
fun.
And two big dudes. Ethan
First
Page
chance.
is a big guy, dude. Like,
Yeah, and
he's
it-
6'2", 250,
Well,
man.
the next night he was in the X Division Championship match. And
Yeah, at the Ultimate
to see
X
him
match.
scaling those ropes, like
And he was scaling the ropes, right? And real quick, let me explain what, because Sreten's not aware. An Ultimate X match. You cocksucker. They got ropes on these pillars on each side of the ring. So, and it's usually like a championship or have like an X symbol that you have to scale these ropes and get to win the match. Well, you had Ethan Page up on there, and he's a big boy, and he's scaling them. I forgot who was on the ground, but he's scaling the fucking rope, and he gets right in the middle and just falls off. And
it
does
looked
this
like Savio Vega that
Yeah.
elbow dropped.
killer fucking elbow drop, man. So Ethan Page is super nice, dude. Another
Did
guy.
you guys meet him before or during? I met him during intermission. He was super duper nice.
Yeah, and
Pre-show, we
Yeah.
talked to him right before we left
Right.
the VIP area.
yeah, and remember he's like, you ain't got to be what?
Yeah, because I was like, hey, can I get a picture with you? I was like, I'm on the podcast too. He's like, you don't got to be special to get a picture with me.
Ethan's a super cool guy, super huge comic book dude too, man. And just all over.
Really cool shirt too that he has.
I was oddly nervous around everybody for some reason, and
Not as much
and
as this guy.
he was actually the easiest dude to talk to out of everybody. He
Yeah.
was the coolest.
Yeah, he really was, and I can't wait to have him. He will be on the show one day. Shout out to
Bobcat wouldn't meet Cage.
Ethan. No, he was scared. He was
told you.
sweating.
He's like,
he was sweating all crazy. You're
it
kind of
wasn't an it
You
was a
just absolved me.
All right, sorry.
sound like
So-
Jimmy Vollmer.
Yeah, so the Moose Ethan Page match also I think was the first chant they started, right?
douche.
Douche. Yeah. As far as a crowd chant. Yeah.
Sorry, because the next match there
yeah.
was a lot of nonsense going on.
Oh yeah. What do we got?
So it's the trios match with his Dragon Lee, Sam Adonis, and Super Crazy versus Daga from Lucha Underground, Ultimo Dragon, and Pat Monix.
Nice. This match, awesome match for two reasons for me. To see, the legends, and that's when Steve was on the episode and he was talking about how they wanted to mix up, Japanese strong style, British strong style, lucha libre, brawlers, all this stuff, and legends, and they had a great mix, and he wasn't lying, and he delivered on everything.
Yeah, I mean to bring in Ultimo Dragon.
Dude, we
Was
got to
nuts.
meet Ultimo Dragon.
I know. Even Sreten knew who he was, and he was like, we were at the VIP, and he's like, I'm getting in line to meet Ultimo Dragon. Like,
Sreten was in line.
fuck what you're doing. I'm going to meet Ultimo.
And then when we were
The
in line
man
for
with
Ultimo,
the 7 to 10 belts on his
He's
hands.
the original belt collector. I think I really believe
That
Austin
picture's
Aries
fucking
stole that
legendary.
gimmick from him
Yeah.
last year. I can't even put into words how cool that was because Ultimo is a guy who is revered around the world. We work with New Japan, All Japan, even in WWE after I think he came there in like 2006
Yeah,
to
it was
SmackDown.
a weird moment. Like, it was cool, but then it's just like, oh, neat. I've heard of this legend, and then it's just like, oh, you're not cruiserweight ready. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, you're that guy from WCW NWO Revenge that does the weird dance. But super awesome to meet him, and he was a super cool guy, even though I don't think he understood a word I was fucking saying.
he just smile and shake his head.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you were yelling at everyone.
No, I wasn't yelling.
Can I get a fucking picture? Can you talk into the microphone and do a plug?
Yeah, can I get
yelling
a
at the mic.
witness? Ah!
He was really nice though.
Yeah, he was nice. So getting back to the match, it was a really cool moment to see him and Super Crazy in the ring, and everybody was losing their shit during that. And Super Crazy was awesome to me.
Yeah. No, he was really cool.
As Butchman Lee's wearing the glow in the dark Super Effing Crazy hat right now, trucker hat.
I was in line to well, not even in line. There was nobody like in line to meet him, and I'm like, this is insane. Like,
didn't you motherfuckers watch ECW? Or are you too young to remember?
So I bought the hat, and he was like so appreciative of it. That's how you know that these guys are still paying their way on the road. And everything. So then when we were in line for Tessa Blanchard, he got my attention. He's like, hey. And he was like covering up the hat and like telling me to like look that the one was glowing dark. And so he asked me if I wanted to switch hats, and I was like, yeah. And then at intermission when we were walking back by again, he was like, hey, and he like pointed to my hat and he like gave me the thumbs up. Like, thank you.
Really cool match. A lot of good spots, and I loved seeing Ultimo Dragon do the dragon screw thing. Oh man, that spot is so fucking awesome. Now it was a little slower because he's a little bit older,
right?
But it was still super cool. I mean, that's just one of those signature moves from only a guy like him can deliver. Super Crazy was awesome in the match. Like I said, he's a little bit slower now, but still awesome.
But his show of respect to Ultimo after the match, that was awesome.
That was great. And that's that's a lot of shit you don't really
Dragon
get.
League legends. Too was showing respect.
Right. That's a lot of shit you don't see in like WWE because everything's just
bland
bullshit finish, and it's like everybody wants to gripe about how back in the NWO days, like there was never a clean finish. It was always NWO gang warfare attacking, and that was it. That's very much like what WWE has now.
A little bit. Yeah.
Just the bullshit finish. Like do the whole Ring of Honor thing and shake hands, show respect. Like make it a
actually
believable.
Have finishes.
Yeah. So that was super cool, and it was a great experience to see both of those guys. And Daga, it was super cool to see him, even though he was wearing some skin-tight jeans and those super flashy
sequin shoes.
Oh man, dude, they were shining.
All right. So let me give you a quick little rundown. So we're standing in line for the Lucha Brothers.
Oh, okay.
And I turn around and I'm like, look at Daga. Justin's reply is, that man's well put together.
Yeah, and he looked at me like, "What?" And I was like, and not in a purely heterosexual.
He's wearing
sense.
spandex. He's wearing sequin shoes, and Justin's first thought is that man's well put together.
Dude, he's fucking built, man.
He had a quality tan going.
Yeah,
he's very in shape.
It looked like he was going to Hulk out of those pants. What am I?
His man knows his shit.
Does that sound wrong? I mean, he looked like a fucking. He was built.
I mean, just as you listen to this show and you become more of a fan, you just learn certain things about certain people, like the host.
Yeah.
Likes men well put together.
Let me put it to you this way: you had a good body,
he had a cool build.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
And he accessorized well.
That was a soundbite we stopped using. He had a good build.
That was a great build. Anyway,
next intermission.
Yeah, for about 20 minutes, 23 minutes. Then we have.
We got some expensive pizza and nachos.
$6
a slice.
Here's the thing. I mean, and no, hey, I want to reiterate to all you guys, like all the proceeds from everything went to scholarships for the kids attending that high school.
I had no problems.
Yeah, so
Marian Catholic?
Yeah, Marian Catholic High School. So that's super
Plus, it's
awesome.
Illinois,
right?
Everything's more
I
expensive.
was a little bit shocked.
But beer was only $5.
There was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I got. Of course, I forgot what I got, but it said 10% ABV. So
a can of pop was $2. So shit.
We messed up, JR.
You fucked up.
We stayed sober.
So did I. I think.
Intermission.
Oh yeah. So after intermission was the Austin Aries versus Eddie Edwards.
That's when you text
wrestling.
me.
That was just.
Well, it was really
like
cool.
hardcore...
Like I said, guys, go back on the high spots and check this out because Austin Aries, as he's done throughout much of the past year, he's just shooting and he's pissing people off. He's doing heel shit, and we actually got to meet Austin Aries too, and he walked away from the he walked away from the table. Like there were two guys in front of us, and he just walked away. And we're like, so did he fucking leave or what? And he's wearing this scarf. He's got the shades on and the Bill Cosby
fucking
hat.
marks. You fucking marks. Stop looking at me.
Right? And he walks away and we're like, is he coming back? He eventually does come back, and he just like took his jacket off or whatever. He's standing. Austin Aries, another guy, like great fucking shape, man.
But
he also had spandex.
But is it well put together?
Not like Daga.
Yeah.
He cracked me up because when when they announced him and he got into the ring, he pulled a banana out of his pants.
Yeah, because he's a vegan. That's his shtick.
I just thought I don't expect a lot of these things. So when I see it on stage, I'm like, why?
He was just like, damn, he's well put together. And then he pulled out a banana. And he's like, oh, it's a banana.
Banana-rama.
Don't confuse me with Wallace. But the other thing about the match, I'm sorry, Wallace, I didn't know what you were going to say, but that match after intermission and everybody's kind of like, maybe go get another round of pizza, maybe go do something else. Maybe their energy is suspect. Mm-hmm. That match after intermission, like, damn, Steve, you know how to put together a lineup because that was exactly the match that needed to happen at that time after intermission because it was chaos and it got you right back into it.
The pre-match promo, I think, got the fans into it because
it was a shoot, dude.
Yeah, because Aries was talking about how he's always done things his way. He doesn't follow rules, and then Eddie Edwards was
calling him like a second-rate Tommy Dreamer now.
Yeah, he was like, you always go by your own rules. He's like, how's that worked out for you?
Yeah, and he said something about Impact. And he's like, well, who do you think, when you get hurt in tonight's match, who do you think they're going to call? He's like, sure as hell ain't me.
Yeah.
Because he walked out on him on Bound for Glory. And it was super cool as a wrestling fan. If you know that whole story, it's awesome. And even if you don't, it was badass anyways because it became not just a wrestling match, it was a street fight.
Right.
And it got pretty hardcore, dude.
You looked at me when he said that, and you were like, oh. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
He's like, I don't want to wrestle you, but
JR, you might have looked at me too, like, did you hear that? And I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Oh my God, where'd that banana go?
But it was good because even that whole thing at the beginning, like you got there, Wallace, you got there a little late, right? Maybe like just a couple minutes.
Yeah, just here.
But with that all that talking, you're still like you're coming back.
Yeah, because I kept on sending him texting.
Yeah.
Like, hey, dude,
it was all like the way it was set up was like perfect for after intermission, and then you're in it. And they started throwing garbage cans and
yeah, dude.
I think my plate was in there for my
kendo sticks. Dude.
JR's nacho plate, pizza plate.
Yeah, Austin Aries got bloodied up during that. I think
that was probably just ketchup from the garbage.
Ketchup from JR's pizza plate.
Right. But it was a great match. So nonetheless,
it was a great match.
Shout out to both those guys. And unfortunately, we didn't get to meet Eddie Edwards either. So
I didn't see him out there.
He was out there when we first walked in.
Oh wait, he was by Brian Pillman Jr., wasn't he?
Right.
Okay. All right.
So, anyways,
Space
Next. Okay, next one was Tessa Blanchard versus Britt Baker. Are you going to talk about?
Yeah. So here's the. Oh man, I told her when I met her, I was like, man, I don't even know what to say to you. Like,
really, you said that to her?
Yeah.
Were you kicking your shoes like the toes of your shoes?
God,
Hi,
dude.
Tessa.
Man,
do you like me? Circle yes or no.
Yeah, super stoked on her. Just and not even because she's an attractive female, but because she is that damn good, man. She is.
She's got the jawline.
She looks like Tully with tits. I don't know if that was inappropriate. I'm sorry.
If you're listening,
to be professional about it, she is a great wrestler, and it was. I was just like, it was weird too because I like as far as a female wrestler goes, I've never been like that. Like whoa, like. And I've seen them live, but like meeting her was like, holy shit! Like for one, she's a knockouts champ at the time until she lost at Homecoming.
Knockout.
Yeah, she's a knockout. Super tiny though. I didn't know she was that short.
Yeah, she seemed condensed.
She's like 5'3".
Yeah, dude. But she's a little firecracker, man. And that's how
she's
awesome
like a talented Alexa Bliss.
Right. On TV, dude, she presents herself as she's a fucking pit bull, dude, on TV. Like, she is the shit, dude. Yeah.
She's forever.
And then we also had the privilege to meet the first female signing, other than Brandy Rhodes for AEW, Britt Baker, the daughter of the Dynamite Kid. Yeah. So they fought each other. But I will be honest with you, as much as I love Tessa, this match really didn't cut it for me. I think there was a lot of weird spots. Like
I was watching it, it just like there's like a lot of rest holds, and it just seemed like it just went on, and it didn't seem like there was that much like a
I don't seem like their timing was
like
on.
a storm.
Yeah, it just didn't mesh well. And I've seen Britt wrestle at All In. She had a great four-way match, which Tessa was also involved in. But I don't know, Sreten, what'd you think of this match?
I actually missed most of this match.
Oh, bathroom break?
Yeah, bathroom break.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
I mean, people have off nights. They had an off night for a charity event, essentially.
So. Right.
It just seemed like it could have got chopped maybe 2 or 3 minutes or something, because it seemed like it's just going and going, and it's just like, okay.
To me,
Stuff
I
it was a
afterwards
little
was
bit
fun.
standstill-ish. Because there were a lot of rest holds.
See, now for me, the part that drug on was actually the next match.
Well, yeah.
I was a little worried about
before
that
we
next
get to
match.
that, though, it was cool, and it was cool to see Steve come out and be like the authority figure. Because remember, Jordan Grace ended up coming back out.
Yeah.
Because Tess after the match, and it was total heel shit.
And that's setting it up for the next Warrior Wrestling.
Right, dude. It was perfect. So she, man, I just had a deja vu. It's so weird. She beats down on Britt Baker, and
Tessa does.
yeah, and ends up start doing her heel shit. Steve comes out and he's like, Tessa, you've done this before at the last show, and something about if you keep this going on, like you're
banned.
You're banned
For the next one.
No more punches or something. Yeah.
Right. And Jordan Grace comes out. So they set that up right there. And it was just super cool. And like to see Steve, a guy who was just sitting in here doing the episode talking about this, like involved in it and it just worked. And it was I loved it. I thought it was great, man. He felt super comfortable in his place doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
And hey, shout out to him for that. That was fucking awesome. Well played. So
Next. Okay, the next match is going to be like somewhat confusing. So it's the freelance
confusing.
free for all, and so you have a guy called Matt Nix, Space Monkey,
Space Monkey's the shit.
Bryce Benjamin, and then this guy called Gringo Loco.
Yeah, Gringo Loco's awesome. He just signed to MLW.
Whatchamacallit, like for how big he was, and he was doing like all that jumping and dives, and I'm like, damn.
Damn.
And then you have Robert Anthony.
Hey, next T-shirt, I'm like,
Do you have-
damn.
Ed,
Damn, make it juicy.
Ed, do you have a list of all the guys that were in that match?
I'm reading
Oh, you're trying to read it.
Oh yeah. I'm used to my sloppy handwriting, so this is easy. So you got Robert Anthony, and then you have
Robert Anthony isn't he the
Sas
he's the brother,
Velasquez.
right?
No, that's Adonis. Sam
Oh, okay,
Adonis.
my bad.
That was
Keep
from
going.
the trios. And then you have oh shit, Warlow,
Warlord. Yeah.
and then
Was it Warlord?
Warlow.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Warlow.
Like the man with war in his name.
Yeah, he was a big dude too, man. I think.
Oh,
he
the
was
one with the
dominating.
singlet.
Yeah, he was beating everybody's ass.
And then you have Shane Saber
Right, who's also half the Space Pirates with Space Monkey.
and Kobe Quest.
No, Kobe
Kobe
Durst.
Kobe Durst.
He's the Indiana State champion for Black Label Pro.
Get it right.
Leroy, Flash
Leroy,
Gordon.
What is it?
I
Flash
don't know how you're
Gordon.
reading this.
Hey man,
It's like a dark corner of the pamphlet.
It's a dark
yeah.
corner of his fucking mind right now.
Joe Alonzo Jr. and the greater Brian Pillman Jr.
Yeah, Brian Pillman Jr., another guy who we met. He
Super cool.
super cool, dude. And
Very
it was
cool.
so
Very nice guy.
surreal meeting him. I mean, any of you out there listening know who his father is and know that he looks exactly like his dad.
Yeah,
so
he
it's like super creepy, like yet weird.
what-
Dresses
it's
like
not-
his dad.
Yeah,
Well,
dude,
it's
he's
not
got
like
the fanny
son-
packs too.
It's not like son of Chris
Super.
Benoit creepy.
No, Chris Benoit's son is creepy looking. He looks like a mix of Benoit and Robert England, and then like a little bit of like toxic shit melted
And then
on his face.
and always getting like side glance smiles with like, ooh, they
Yeah, the
creeps
creepy,
it up.
like,
yeah.
I'm coming for you, family. Inappropriate.
So what the freelance free for all was like a Royal Rumble.
Yes.
Essentially,
Every 30 seconds or
And then
so,
it also-
a new wrestler would come in,
Promoting freelance
and instead
wrestling.
of being knocked over the top,
Pinned.
you get pinned. If you get pinned, you're out.
No submissions, I don't think.
yeah.
Which freelance wrestling of a lot of big names have come through.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Freelance is awesome too, and it was
They're
cool.
based out of Chicago.
Yeah, they have an awesome logo
Okay.
too. That green skull type
Yeah.
shit. Like it's
Okay.
kind of like an underground punk looking thing. I thought it was a killer match. I like Gringo Loco a lot too. Like you were saying, he's kind of a bigger
Yeah,
dude.
Did he
but-
wrestle on Impact the next night?
No, he
Because
wasn't. in
Gringo
Impact.
Loco, he kind of came off like a Kevin Owens physique, but with more like jumping around and diving.
Oh, straight up lucha libre.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
He was like Nacho Libre.
Oh yeah, and then we forgot.
There was a guy there was wearing a Nacho Libre shirt, and I'm like, "It give me no ego powers." He was he's the best, isn't he?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he
and
was
then
that dude is hammered.
Oh, dude, he's the best.
You're like, he give me no eagle powers. He's like, hey man, this shirt is awesome.
yeah, he totally
And he said
was.
something like that. I was like, oh, Wallace, don't talk to him anymore. His shirt's cool, but let's move
He's
on.
bad for business.
Oh yeah, and then Frank the Clown was like the manager of what?
Noelle Foley's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And star of the WWE Network.
Which I don't know. I got the network, unfortunately, and I've never seen him on there.
I've only ever seen him on her Instagram.
I just read about it. And I'm like, oh, that guy.
I didn't care about him, but Gabriel was really into.
Yeah, that's when he started really getting into it. That was after intermission, and
he's like, fuck that clown.
He was yelling stuff at the clown. He's like, yeah. It was great.
Yeah.
But JR, you weren't too crazy about that match. That was so the last 3 matches, but especially that one and the next one were the ones that I was like, man, like Steve, like the whole Warrior Wrestling, like the what you put together, and these guys, I don't know that anybody in the entire night actually was like, well, I'm doing this for charity, or I'm just gonna whatever. Everybody was a professional. Everybody was awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody was 100%.
Yeah, no, it did seem like they were just coasting.
No,
on an autopilot.
nobody.
Everybody went fucking full throttle, dude.
And I knew it because there's a quote when we talk about the last match. There was something that Cage said that I was like, okay, like these guys all these dudes are fucking pros, and they are bringing it.
Well, that also says something about Steve and his crew and what they got going.
Right.
I mean, when you have guys of that caliber that are willing to put on what they did, that type of match for you, that says something about your promotion and you as a promoter, dude.
Well, and not only that, but the fact that they went that hard, and then half of them, they went really hard.
Real hard, real stiff.
Then half of them were wrestling the next night on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
in Nashville.
that's why I was doing a double take of. I'm like, no shit.
Yeah.
So you got to go.
You really got to commend them for that.
Fuck me.
Yeah, I liked all that. There was a moment where there was like 6 dudes in the ring, and they were all like on their backs, just breathing hard, and I was like, what are they gonna do next?
Yeah.
What are they gonna do next? And then what's that big dude's name? He came in, he just started power bombing people. I think.
Warlow.
Oh,
I can't remember, but it was just there were so many
Warlow.
parts of that match
The
they were just
singlet man,
amazing.
Yeah.
And then it got done, and then the clown, like the like Frank the Clown, the stuff he was doing, all that stuff was great.
And it came down to the big dude ended up getting pinned, and it came
his
down
guy
to
won.
Pillman Jr. and
Brian
Robert.
Pillman Jr.
Yeah.
Classic double distraction move. That was a one. Yeah, I was like, here it
Yeah,
comes.
because he like ran in and gave him a schoolboy real quick.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I enjoyed it very much.
yeah.
You have the Lucha Brothers, which is Phoenix
fuck.
and
He about to get me
Pentagon
sprung
Jr.
again,
versus
That match was amazing.
Team White Wolf, which is A-Kid and Carlos Romo.
Yeah.
It was going to be Matt Sydal, but he got hurt.
Yeah, for those who don't know who Matt Sydal is, former Impact Wrestling X Division champion. He's still signed to Impact. He's currently injured, so due to the injury, he could not compete. But Evan Bourne. So there you go. There's not enough good things to say about this match.
I was blown away because I had like kind of low expectations, but then
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
You had low expectations.
Hit him over the fucking head right now.
because of the A-Kid and the Carlos Romo.
Because of the Team White Wolf. Because
you didn't know.
Oh, so you don't like white people?
Yeah. He's taking it all serious.
I'm like, damn, it is giving a believable, like, oh shit, I gotta like fucking double down, and I think that was my favorite one.
Well, yeah, going into it, I was familiar with A-Kid. He's had some really great matches with a lot of top talent guys in NXT and New Japan and all that shit. But it was just the moment was for me to see the Lucha Brothers. Like I've been huge marks since Lucha.
Hell yeah, I was taking pictures, dude. I'm like, and then I'm like, fuck me, I don't have a speed on my camera. Fuck it, I don't know. Fuck it, just take.
All right. Now,
I don't even have a camera. I'm just acting like I'm
Okay, I blink.
He brought one of those old
making sounds.
the Kodak ones. You gotta get developed.
Winding it up like.
A great match. A lot
That's
of
when the
great fucking
crowd got
spots.
real crazy during that one.
Oh yeah, dude.
Miedo.
I mean, and when we walked into the VIP, you could tell it was weird because here you have Brian Cage, who's the Warrior Wrestling champ. He was the current X Division champ before he cashed it in for a shot with the option C at the Impact World title. His line wasn't nothing.
Yeah.
The Lucha Brothers, dude. Everybody
Intimidation
was
and
there.
fear. Look at those.
No,
look
that
at
was
those
maybe
buttons.
you.
That was you Panocha.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not the
Grande
only one
Panocha.
intimidated
He's gonna
by
flex
those
his
human
cock and kill me.
pythons. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but everybody was there for Pentagon and Phoenix. And these guys, like I said, I've said it a million times, in the next 20 years, we're going to be talking about these guys like we do Rey Mysterio.
Oh yeah.
And probably even more so. I mean, because they have went from promotion to promotion and just absolutely killed it everywhere they've been.
And a good organic growth. It just, I mean, from the whole Lucha Underground.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, my fucking God, yeah.
Man.
And just with, not even with the match, just how nice they were in person.
Oh, really?
Super cool. They were super cool guys. You know, when we went up to them, it's like, hey, you want to come to promo for the show? And it's like, yeah, just, let this shit die down and come on back and we'll do something for you. And they were super cool.
I'm so disappointed that they were out of extra large Lucha Bros shirts, though.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like, oh, well, I have an extra large, and Pentagon's got an extra large.
Yeah.
It's like, you're really going to make me choose?
Yeah.
I bought one of each.
Yeah.
I almost got a Team White Wolf one.
Did you?
Yeah, just
you were a
as
big
opposite.
Team White Wolf guy.
I there was something about, it was a great match, but there was something
I think it's
about
a Euro
the way
thing.
but the way that Carlos was like yelling, I really liked
Believe
that
it?
style. Like the way he was screaming, like before moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like running down,
I was
like,
digging that shit. But the Lucha Brothers they were insane. Like that so the match
The
before
finish.
that, I was like, holy shit. But during there was another thing where they were flipping, and then somebody jumped out, and the crowd just went like crazy because this was like one of the heights of the night.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
they did the finishing move, and then Phoenix did the
Well, it's a package
like a
pile
back
driver.
style.
Oh, my God, I love that
dive.
shit.
It's a package, the Pentagon driver, the package pile driver. Pentagon sets him up for him, and as he goes down with the pile driver, Phoenix jumps off and does like
Stomps
the
on his
missile
back.
double stomp
Yeah,
on
yeah.
his back to, add to the believability of like driving the dude
I'm a
into-
back. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's super
and then he
awesome
bounced
move.
off the ropes and did a suicide
Yeah.
flipping dive through the ropes.
Or when he runs up in the corner and he jumps on the ropes in the middle of the rope, and then in the middle of the air does that spinning kick and
Yeah.
lands back on the ropes,
Yeah.
dude. Come on, dude.
But I also liked all the exchanges of all the chest slaps.
Oh, I
You
love
talk
how
about
he's
the
like,
moments, and then
Yeah.
the zone people are
we got a few of those for you, Ed.
And the super kicks,
Motherfucker.
like all that stuff. The kicks to the face during that whole match
dude, they were
from both teams were so damn precise. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
To see these dudes kicking, because super kicks can be amazing.
Yeah.
And they could be incredibly cheesy.
Yeah.
And they were not like every time somebody kicked, and there were a ton of them. Mm-hmm. It was
They were
they're
great.
professionals.
One thing I liked is every time when I think at least a Pentagon Jr., I don't know if Phoenix got like hit on his head, it seemed like he would always do a spit take where it's just like,
yeah.
oh shit. And it's like, that's some good selling Pentagon Jr.
Yeah, every time
Fuck
when
yeah.
he would get super kicked, Pentagon, it
And
looked like
you
he
just
lost
see
a tooth or some
spit
shit.
come out. Yeah, it was like, oh my God, that's some good shit.
I love that match. And in the speech they gave afterwards, thanking everybody for a great year. And
Very humble.
super
oh my
humble,
God.
dude.
Well, and then the crowd was chanting, "Please come back!
Oh, hell
Please
yeah.
come back!" And they said,
Yeah.
they will."
We got a lot of love. I posted that. I filmed it. It's nowhere near as good as what you can see on High Spots. Another plug. Thank you guys. You're welcome. On my Twitter page at JPW Podcast, and the retweets and likes and loves just for that speech was super positive, dude. I think within the first hour or two of posting it had like 60 likes and a bunch of retweets and shit. So, and that's just super cool. And that for people that connect that way and see, even though it's on my shitty phone, and you can still hear what these guys are saying, and the people that know who they are, and they're just like, man, dude. And on Warrior Wrestling is by no means a ROH or an Impact, or we all know it's not WWE level, but to see what they put on and have those guys there and be that fucking sincere and humble was awesome, dude. Like, that made me want to get up and fucking pile drive the Durst,
Yeah, for two guys, for two guys having a gimmick with the word ego in it, there were no egos.
No. And going back to the Lucha Brothers
Maybe
real
Austin
quick,
Aries.
telling them like, hey, so what's next? So you guys, eyeballing All Elite or what's up? And they were just like, Ray's like, it's 2019 is going to be a good year because they know that WWE is clamoring to get these guys. They know ROH would love to have
Did you
these
hear the
guys.
rumors? Supposedly tonight, today when they did the whole press conference, AEW, supposedly they offered the brothers like 2 to 3 times fucking what Impact offered them.
Well, that happened like a few days ago. I heard that story. But
Yeah, but that means that Wanted and people like them, and then
every wrestling federation wants the Lucha Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't
They're
matter
the
what
hottest
country
fucking
you're
tag
in,
team.
They want them.
It's like the same thing as the Young Bucks.
Right.
You know, like, and my God, if we ever have that match,
yeah,
where it's just strictly the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers, I mean, the fucking world will probably explode because it was fucking insane. So shout out to Pentagon and Phoenix, man. I'm Sreten, I'm glad you had a great time watching that because
I'm glad that was your first wrestling match.
Yeah,
It was good. It was good. It was a good first one.
good cherry buster, you know.
I mean, your first match, you're seeing Pentagon, Phoenix, Cage,
because that shit
Ultimo
sold
Dragon,
me.
super crazy.
Because at first I'm like, I don't know, but I'm like, oh fuck me. You got
I
the
told-
Lucha
I told
Brothers
so-
and Bandito.
Yeah.
So JR, you brought your son. Juice, you brought your son.
Yeah.
I brought my girlfriend's nephew, and I told him when we got in the car, I was like, dude, the picture you took with the Ultimo Dragon, you're going to be talking about this. Like, you're going to have this picture when you get older. And a lot of these wrestlers that you're meeting tonight, and you're getting to see live from 50 feet away, and you're watching them perform at a really high level. Like, you're going to be talking about this in the future. This is a thing that, like, the way that you guys talk about, like, being able to go to like a WrestleMania, maybe WrestleMania, the history and the scale of it, but you're seeing these you're seeing the best in the world perform at their thing.
Yeah, and before that, where they're going to probably end up, most of these guys are probably going to end up in WWE at some point.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
You know,
AEW.
Or AEW now, which is the other option, viable option, I might add, because
AKA,
the money.
we got money too.
Yeah.
So it was
But
great.
it was history, dude, and it really is. And for Chicago Heights, it's not far from where we're at. I think it's like it took me like what 30
half hour.
Took me a half hour
35
to get
minutes.
there, yeah. Not bad.
And I cannot wait for the next one. But real quick, let's get into the last match, and then we'll.
That would be the Brian Cage, the Machine versus Bandito.
He said bandito.
Bandito.
I thought he said burrito for a second.
No, just Bandito.
So here's one thing. The only problem I would say, and it's not even really a problem. So maybe I'm just being a little diva about this match. At that point, and I'd known we had Steve on the show. I'd known for months who was the main event and what it was. And so when Bandito came out, I was like, it was like a smack in the face because I think I was just so drunk off the not the beer. I
Lucha
only had
Bros
one
hot-
beer.
Match before.
Yeah.
Dude, all the awesomeness all night. Because, like we've said, I think we can all agree that it was so much that it was kind of almost overwhelming, but in a positive way. Like just super, super amounts of energy and electricity going through there, and it tired me out. But I somehow forgot Bandito was like in the main event, and he's another guy. I think he just signed an exclusive contract.
He
with
hasn't been around.
MLW,
Ring of Honor.
and he hasn't. And he was another guy that was in the main event of All In with the
Rey Mysterio.
Rey
and
Mysterio,
Phoenix.
the Young Bucks, and those guys. And it was fucking awesome to see. And once he came out, it was just like I said, it was like a smack in the face. I'm like, holy shit! Fucking Bandito, God!
Well, when you first see him come out, it's almost like Sabu gone Western.
Yeah,
Well,
dude.
you like Hayabusa
That's a good.
because
I
his
like
mouth
that.
is covered too.
Yeah, and I like that mask. It's a
Yeah.
very unique kind of
Remember
almost like
Grifter?
Arabic.
Remember in comics, Grifter?
Grifter, from the
yeah.
Wildcats.
Yeah, that's what he looked like.
Wildcats. Wildcats.
Yeah.
Jim Lee's Wildcats.
Yeah.
You're all about the wild cracks.
Yeah. Smoke crack every day. No. But the one thing I and then Cage comes out and it's fucking awesome. He comes out to the Impact theme they use, which I think is a pretty badass theme for him. Bandito got his ass whooped for the story in that match was
6
like
minutes.
Yeah. Whatever. However, the match wasn't really that long.
No.
I'd say giving it
But
maybe
it went
10
a good
minutes.
length.
It was probably 10 minutes.
It did come off like, it was a Jabba match. Like, it did go tell a story, but it wasn't kind of like, fuck me on the time.
Yeah. No, Bandito got some good moves, and I think for me it was just so weird to see him, though. And I know it's Cage, who is, I mean,
Dude, I think
Anybody
his
going against
arm was
Cage.
as wide as your head.
Well, the
Like,
thing that
that was
impressed me
huge.
the
It's
most
all
in that
good.
match is when Cage went to the top rope
Yeah.
to do a flying crossbody, and Bandito caught him
hell
in midair.
yeah! Hell
Oh,
yeah! That
yeah.
shit. I
Like,
was
Cage is not a small
like,
guy.
I know, and
No.
when that happened, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like, because
it's
it
like
wasn't
catching
a flipping
it's like
move,
catching
but-
a car getting
'cause
thrown at you.
Yeah, because Cage
Like-
is so thick.
Like somebody picked up a Mini Cooper and just
with
fucking threw
muscle.
it at you.
you'd know that if he had the balls to meet him. I got shit on you a little bit.
He's like, I saw his thick muscle.
Hey, I was just in your shadow. I was good enough.
You were in the shadow of his
gun.
thick muscle.
So I think what you said is correct. So by the time that match came around, everybody was like sort of still recovering from the match before.
Yeah.
But people were noticing it. But the match was long enough that they were doing what they were doing, and they still like they found the rhythm for their match was good. They were doing their thing, and it was great. I actually think Cage is so good at whoever he gets put up against.
Right.
And
he has a
Bandito is
speed, too.
awesome too, but he just makes everybody look like he can flip,
my
he can do
God,
everything.
yeah.
He's super athletic.
And here's the thing, for like you're saying, as far as selling, we were talking earlier about the what Brian Cage on Twitter was calling the vanilla gorilla flip. Yeah. Where dude, he fucking flipped Bandito, and it looked like he was gonna flip him outside of the ring from across the fucking ring.
Yeah.
Well, the second time he did it, he actually hit the turnbuckle.
No pun intended. That was a high spot.
He smashed his foot. Like
Yeah,
he was way high. But the thing was so I think the crowd was feeling the fact that that the energy was a little lower than it should be because it was the last match and it was Cage and all that stuff. But I think it was okay because everybody's like shaking their head off, like almost like getting punched in the face, and dazed from the match earlier.
It was so good
because you're following a
And
killer
you're
match,
like waking up, it's like, okay.
and it's just two dudes. And even though they were both awesome, but then they picked it up and they came back. And I remember when so it was the end, and when I knew everybody, I just got a ton of respect for Cage now. Somebody in the crowd said something, and he was about to do a suplex. But he was climbing the ropes in the middle of the ropes. So he climbed onto the second rope.
And he picks him up.
He picks him up from the other side to do a suplex, right?
Yeah.
So it's this badass move that's about to happen. And somebody yells something in the crowd. And he just goes, "You goddamn right I am."
Yeah.
And fucking does it. When he said it, I was like, this guy's not messing around. Like, he's bringing it. Like
when he came through the fucking at the intermission, he'd come back through to do autographs, and he walks past me, and I'm like, "'Cause he's a fucking machine," and he just looks at me and smiles and shakes his head like,
but I don't know I can't remember what the dude in the crowd said, but he goes, "You goddamn right I am."
He probably, I think he said he's not a man, he's a machine.
Yeah, because that's the thing. And here's the other thing, and I loved how you were getting involved too. The Terminator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was a great champ. Yeah, it was a good clap. But then they brought it, and then they ended it, and it was awesome. And then he grabbed the mic and gave it a little like speech, and it was just.
And that's you were talking earlier how we were going to get into. There was something he said.
Yeah.
Or was that?
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
When he said, when I knew that he like. He's a professional whole night. Every experience I had watching him, and then the match was awesome. And like a week before, I watched him and what's her face? Sorry, I got to look at the screen.
Melissa Santos?
No, Tessa. You guys told me to watch the Tessa, the match with him and Tessa from whatever. I went on YouTube and I looked it up.
They fought each other,
and it was amazing. And then when I got there and I saw Tessa and I saw him, and she's this tiny thing, and he's this monstrosity of a person, and the match was like fun and awesome and brutal.
Yeah.
And then Bandito's not a tiny dude.
No, he's not.
He's not a small guy. And then they did the same match, but then when he yelled that thing out, like I knew it. I was like, he's bringing the same amount of energy to Chicago Heights as
he does on a pay-per-view.
Yes, as he does at a pay-per-view. And he showed it because he was just, I mean, the way they were throwing each other, the moves, and then the way that Bandito caught him, like the whole thing to the end was just like, these guys are fucking professionals and they're bringing it. And at the end, so like you said, like there's certain things that I don't know, but the fact that like at WWE and other matches that there's no, like the finishers are less, that they do that NWO thing where everything's like beat the guys up and just ding, 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 and everybody ignores the bell. Clean finishes, because finishes are awesome. It's fun when somebody gets like the thing with Tessa that I was kind of disappointed personally was not the match itself, but when I got there and we didn't get to see that DDT that we were really looking forward to.
Yeah.
And it's okay. We'll get to see her again. But I love finishers because they're great.
Yeah,
and then
the signature move,
especially when they're executed like that hammerlock DDT.
But then almost every one of the matches, and I mean, I'm not a kumbaya guy all the time, but every match there was that sign of respect where the guys got in the match, they bowed together or they shook hands or something.
Yeah,
that I was just like a athletic competition, dude. Like
Yeah, like even if they talked trash like before the match, after the match, they still showed respect.
Yeah, unless they were Austin Aries.
Which, I like the fact that they did the whole respect thing because there were so many kids there.
Yeah.
You know,
but
that
there was a lot of middle
from...
fingers, though. There was a lot of middle fingers, which I was kind of shocked at a kid in high school.
Yeah.
It could have been worse though.
You know what? Here's the
Yeah, when they were doing
shout
the
out,
douche.
Shout out.
Douche.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
And the one guy, I remember the parent said something, and Ethan Page is like, well, I'm sorry, I won't say it again. He's like, and everybody else started chanting. He's like,
I can't help it if the crowd says
I
it.
didn't say it.
Yeah.
But and here's the thing too, and there's that stigmata about you like what I did just there.
Yeah.
You know, the Catholic Church and this and that. But this show, even with a guy like me, it changed my opinion. If they can take something like this, and you know, yeah, you got guys flipping the bird, and it really wasn't a vulgar. There was there might have been maybe ass said something once or twice or. It was still somewhat family friendly. You know, we both have younger kids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, Espanol is a whole different thing. But they put up with it, dude, and they were super cool about it. And it's like, hey, it's a show. These guys were not like super disrespectful, and it's still there was no restrictions. You know what I'm saying? So that made it even that much better. It was like I was at a damn pay-per-view, which I mean technically it was if you go on High Spots Network.
Yeah, if you go on High Spots,
yeah. Man, I feel like I'm going to be getting a royalty check here soon at the end of tonight. But I, at the end of the day, man, this was by far, and JR, I know you have been, this is the first wrestling show you've been to, and what was the last show you've been to since,
last show?
Before WW3, as I like to call it. So you can't even think. It's probably in Valparaiso. John Cena like 12 years ago.
Like Texas Roadhouse.
Mine was like 3 or 4 years.
Oh, the Headlock on Hunger or something.
Yeah. That would be it.
This match, every match, the whole fucking card. Shout out to Steve and everybody involved. And oh my God, it was. I'm gonna cream.
Cream always rises to the top. Yeah.
Well, they had a big name in every match.
Every match.
Even if
every
it was
single
names
match.
that you didn't recognize in it, they had a
Here's my
recognizable name.
For those of you listening out there that are wrestling fans, if you didn't go to this event and you didn't even have the guts to fucking go out and do some work and get some money so you could watch it on High Spots Wrestling Network, what the fuck? You know, because this was super huge and it was in our backyard. Realistically, like, why? If you're a wrestling fan, why were you not a part of this?
I was a little like, oh, is it going to be filled out? But
Like Phil Anselmo?
but it had a good, like, I didn't notice that many blank seats.
No, there really wasn't.
There's still room to fill. What I took it as, this is the third time they did it. It takes time for you to fill it.
I think it was their most
product is
successful
amazing.
one so far.
The product there is amazing. I don't know how many more times they're going to be able to do this before they before it's too big and it blows up.
Yeah.
People are going to hear just how amazing the quality of all this stuff is, and they're going to outgrow that spot real quick. So I feel lucky that I was able to go now instead of being like, oh, go to the next one. Because I'm going to the next one.
Right.
I'm going to go to the next every single one until it ends up at, like, you know, the United Center or something where I'm like,
It's $100
I can't
for
do it.
nosebleed.
Can't do that.
Speaking of the next one is Beware the Ides of March 15th, 2019. The crinkles, the cuts. I got these Haribo Happy Colas. They're making me real happy.
Just smack you on the mic, that's all.
I know. It's
Yeah, March 15th, Warrior Wrestling 4.
And as far as now, we know Cage is going to be there. He's the world champion. SCU was announced, which is super huge. Another trio of guys who are all signed to All Elite Wrestling. So once again, you know, Steve, he's got those connects, man. And I think didn't they some about a women's title?
Well, I'm assuming that's going to be the Jordan Grace
versus Tessa.
Yeah, since they set that up for the next one.
Yeah, and she is the
because he's like, Tessa, you've done this at every one of these, you know, so you do it again, and then that's when Jordan came out.
Which that'll be a killer match. Both those women can go. And I think when Steve was on, didn't he say they had fought before? And that's why they had split up, because it was what? It was Kylie versus Jordan. Or was it Kylie versus Tessa before?
I don't remember.
I can't remember what it was, but you guys can remember if you go back and listen to episode 38.
Or watch an old episode.
Yeah.
It was Kylie versus...
No, we're talking about in the past.
Oh, God.
At Warrior Wrestling 2.
My bad.
Yeah, so I think it was Jordan versus Tessa, and he was talking. They were just tearing shit up, and you know they want to kind of make it a little different this time. So
Yeah.
Spin it.
it was.
It's a good spin.
So real quick, we'll go around the table. If we had to give this a rating, as far as Dave Meltzer, Wrestling Observer, has the 5-star shit. We'll just do a 1 out of a 10 or a 2 out of a 10 or whatever you think. We'll start with Sreten. What do you think this was?
My first 10 out of 10. And I had a second thing I wanted to say. I can't remember what it was. So when I remember, I'll interrupt one of you guys. 10 out of 10 for me.
Sweet.
I'm thinking like 8 or a 7.
8 or a 7?
7 or 8.
I think I'm gonna super kick you after this. Butch Manley.
Given the quality of the matches, the high number of high-profile names, the distance from where we had to travel, I gave it an 11.
Nice.
Oh, you're breaking rules. Just like Meltzer breaking rules.
Yeah, very stiff.
JR the one-upper.
Well, when you take into account, tickets weren't expensive.
No, they really
The
weren't.
experience you got with the meet and greet, everything that came with the meet and greet.
Yeah, I was shocked.
The bang for your buck, you
For $25,
it was beyond perfect.
Yeah, it definitely swung open the door for me. I give it a 10 out of a 10 for sure, or I'll probably go 11 too. I'm really proud of.
Why don't you go 13?
Yeah, I will.
I'm
going
going
to
to stick with my number.
Maybe I'll go 15.
I want to go 27.
Maybe I'll go 32.
Promote!
Hey, if you guys like what you heard tonight, you can check us out. Previous episodes and new and upcoming episodes, which we'll have for you ready every week at jpdub.com, at greendoornetwork.com. You can find us on social media on Twitter at JPDub Podcast. We're on Instagram at Juice Pro Wrestling, Facebook at Juice Pro Wrestling, and we also have the Juice Pro Wrestling Universe group, which you can become a part of. Just join and talk about whatever the hell you want.
Before we sign off,
I ain't signing off on shit, motherfucker.
sounded like a wrap
joking.
up.
Go ahead.
Maybe in the comments, if people wanted to comment who they feel could be the biggest acquisition for AEW.
Yeah.
To see what people's thoughts are on, what could really put them on the map.
Definitely in the comments. And also, if you guys want to leave in the comments, for those of you that attended Warrior Wrestling 3, what your thoughts and opinions were on the whole event. Are you excited for the fourth one? What was your favorite moment?
Fuck yeah, I am.
Who were you? Yeah, fuck yeah. Who are you most excited to see? Dude, we met a lot of people that night. We'll be posting all the pictures and videos and all that.
Plugs.
So, there were plugs galore.
Lots of plugs.
Lots of plugs. Lots of botches too, but that's to be
We'll fix it in post.
We'll fix it. So this is Big Juice Stud signing off until next time. Anybody else want to say goodbye?
Me here, Ed.
He's reading a eulogy. What the fuck?
Ed also does a podcast.
It's Gigi Stalin.
He's still
and
a part of it.
Absurdity Junkies. Yeah, I think so.
Come on, you're on most of them. Keep going.
When was the last one you were on?
All right, moan your way through the promotion.
So
Let's
it's
go.
SoundCloud, iTunes, Player.fm, Listen Notes, Stitcher, iHeart, Podchaser, Podcast, all on the Google app. And we're also on Facebook.
Yeah. Gigi Stalin and the Absurdity Junkies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can tune in for more of Ed's
fun conversation.
obnoxious behavior. We love it.
Man, my technique, cut and run, bitch. Cut and run.
Who do you think you are, David Bowie? Hey, man. Hey,
JR, you got anything?
got anything you want to plug?
Oh, you already said what you want to say. So.
Hey, anybody?
just smack some candy sounds.
Yeah, hit him up, JR
No, please
Butchko on Facebook. If you're looking to get some artwork done, you got any paintings or anything you want done, this guy can do it. Who knows? We may even feature some of Butch Manley's artwork.
Humble killer artist.
Right? We may even feature his artwork at the Green Door Bookstore sometime if he gets off his ass.
Yeah. Maybe. Who knows?
I know.
I'm really disappointed that I was really hoping Andre was going to make an appearance, give his thoughts on the AEW.
Well, I did just hear the door open. I wonder if
The spirit's coming?
Not today, assholes.
oh god damn it, Andre. Hey, well, you know what you could do, motherfucker? You can wet 'em up, 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 wet 'em up. You gonna do sex to me?